Well, tomorrow, the House Rules Committee has a markup scheduled on a resolution to formalize the impeachment inquiry of President Joe Biden. Now, to be clear, this is to approve the inquiry, not impeachment. This is so they can start just doing the investigation surrounding a possible impeachment. Now, ongoing investigations by the House Judiciary Committee, Ways and Means and Oversight and Accountability Committee have shown the sources of foreign money received by the Biden family and continue to look into just how compromised President Biden might be by his involvement in his family's foreign business dealings. Now, again, this is just an impeachment inquiry, but it could be momentum building for a formal vote on impeachment. I don't know. Could it be? Joining us to discuss this is Congressman Greg Murphy. He serves on the House Ways and Means Committee, the House Veterans Affairs Committee, and the House Committee on Administration. He represents the 3rd Congressional District of North Carolina. Dr. Murphy, welcome back to Washington Watch.
Hey, Tony. Good afternoon. Hope you're doing well.
I'm doing good. Did you have a good weekend?
I did. I hope you did too.
I was out of D.C., so it was good.
That's right. I was back in North Carolina. So
you serve on the House Ways and Means Committee overseeing a portion of this investigation. It appears that Republicans, even those that have been on the fence, are warming to the idea of allowing the inquiry to go forward just based on the volume of evidence that has been uncovered. Is that a correct assessment?
It is. And Tony, the real difference, just so people understand what the impeachment versus the inquiry is, it gives us certain legal capabilities for subpoena efforts that can't be, if we have now an inquiry by the entire House that's voted for something, giving a subpoena to people at the DOJ, they can't turn it down. It's going to be a much greater force to them that they have to answer it and come back and speak to the entire House, come back before the committees of jurisdiction and answer the real questions that are needed to be answered.
So in part, that has not happened because some of these requests for information have just been ignored or blocked. Is that correct?
That is correct. And this, if we go through and vote on the inquiry and we can move forward, again, just remember, Tony, when Pelosi threw this through on President Trump twice, it had no judicial proceedings. Our founders wanted impeachment to be a grave, grave offense, not anything to be tossed around just because of political partisanship. So we're actually trying as Republicans to do it the right way. And we're bringing it forth. It's a legal proceeding. It's something now that we get an inquiry from the House. We can proceed with a lot more legitimacy than what Pelosi did.
What is your sense when you consider your colleague? I mean, you don't have much, no Democrat's going to support this. So you're going to have unanimous almost. You might be able to lose one vote, maybe two among Republicans. Where do you think you stand?
Tony, it's almost hard to guess these days because sometimes we seem to be our own worst enemy. And some of the Republicans that are voting the way that they're voting. I hope that they'll at least vote for an inquiry that we can agree to establish to look into these very mind-boggling findings that we've had so far, to push it to a legal determination that we can actually do something. Again, not as they say, putting the cart before the horse, but sure, everything sure leads to the fact that, as you mentioned earlier, Biden is compromised.
So I'm going to ask you this, Congressman Murphy. You've been a part of these investigations. You'll be a part of this. Tell us why you think this needs to move forward at this time as it has been presented.
Yeah, it's very interesting, Tony, because now that Hunter Biden's sweet plea deal was thrown out by a judge, thank God, this was showing that the DOJ was not really serious about what Hunter Biden's crimes were, that he should be, honestly, if you and I had done things, in jail. But this is Hunter Biden. And the Democrats are screaming, well, that's Hunter Biden, that's his son, that's all we need to worry about. The true connection is that Joe Biden and Hunter Biden have absolute connectivity in their business dealings. Joe Biden knew about them. Joe Biden received money in compensation with Hunter Biden's business dealings. We know that Hunter Biden created, with his brother, over 20 shell companies that had absolutely no purpose other than to receive money from nefarious places such as China, Ukraine, Russia. And these were funneled, again, We've also found out that President Biden had multiple alias email addresses that he was connecting and discussing with Hunter Biden's associates. The circle will be complete, and it will show that money that Hunter Biden got. Remember, the big guy got 10%. Joe Biden got $40,000. We will show completely that there is a full circle showing that Joe Biden sold his vice presidency, and that's treasonous in the eyes. It should be treasonous in the eyes of the American people.
Dr. Murphy, last week the president angrily dismissed claims of his involvement as "quote unquote" lies. Now, I'm not been tracking this like you, but as I've seen, there's close to 24 times that Joe Biden has been caught lying to the American people about this.
Well, that's 24, about 24, just about this particular issue, Tony. Good Lord, you remember that great Sam Donaldson interview? I love that interview when Biden was caught lying about his law school and all these other things. He's lying point blank. Number one, he said he didn't know anything about his business dealings. That's an absolute lie, absolutely. And then the fact that he profited from basically extorting money from Burisma, extorting money from China, the part of the Chinese Communist Party. You wonder why he's been so soft on China. Mm-hmm. And so we will show this. And the fact that Joe Biden is saying lies does not surprise me in the least.
You know, that's what concerns me most about this, Dr. Murphy, is how this could possibly affect policy positions that we've taken against our foreign adversaries like China.
Sure. Absolutely. And, China's our greatest adversary, and I'll even say enemy today. And President Biden has been so soft on this, on China during his entire administration. It begs the question, why?
Yeah.
And I think the question will be answered when we see the money connection.
Well, we will be tracking this very, very closely. Congressman Greg Murphy, always great to see you, and thanks so much for taking time to join us today.
Thank you so much, Tony. God bless.